Interesting facts about ergets. The great egret is generally a very successful species with a large and expanding range, occurring mostly in temperate and tropical habitats. It is found on all continents except Antarctica. Streams, lakes, ponds, mud flats, saltwater and freshwater marshes are inhabited by this beautiful bird. Wooded swamps and wetlands are the preferred location. There are 4 subspecies of the great egret. They are completely white with a long orange-yellow bill and dark gray legs. During flight their neck is usually in an S-shaped curve. The great egret is partially migratory, with northern hemisphere birds moving south from areas with colder winters. The great egret feeds in shallow water or drier habitats, feeding mainly on fish, frogs, small mammals, and occasionally small reptiles and insects, spearing them with its long, sharp bill most of the time by standing still and allowing the prey to come within its striking distance of its bill, which it uses as a spear. It often waits motionless for prey, or slowly stalks its victim. Great egrets have a lifespan of about 15 years in the wild and about 22 in captivity. They are diurnal feeders, and at dusk they gather from surrounding areas to form communal roosts. The species breeds in colonies in trees close to large lakes with reed beds or other extensive wetlands, preferably at height of 3 to 12 meters, 10 to 40 feet. Great egrets mate with one mate each season. Males are in charge of finding a home and attracting a female. Nests are a platform made of sticks, twigs, and stems built high up in a tree. Females lay 3 to 5 pale greenish-blue eggs. The incubation period of the eggs is 23 to 26 days. Both males and females aid in incubating and feeding their young. Great egrets are very territorial, and will defend their nests, mates, and young. Young herons often follow their parents on long journeys. On these trips they often take food from smaller herons. The great egret is not normally a vocal bird, it gives a low, hoarse croak when disturbed, and at breeding colonies, it often gives a loud croaking cuck and higher-pitched squawks. Its scientific name comes from Latin ardea, heron, and alba, white. Prior to the 20th century, the population of great egrets was nearly decimated by the demand for their lacy plumage for women's hats and other fashionable garments. With great concern for the welfare of great egrets, legal restrictions were placed on the harvesting of this animal. Great egrets were placed under the protection of the Migratory Bird Treaty Act in 1918. By the mid-1900s populations of great egrets were steadily on the rise. Today, populations are doing well. Develops conspicuous breeding plumes on its body during the breeding season. Nests in trees or shrubs, often near water. Primarily a fish eater, but also consumes crustaceans and amphibians. Forages singly or in groups, wading and sometimes walking as well as waiting in shallow water for prey. Breeds throughout much of the eastern and central U.S., as well as large parts of the western U.S. also occurs south of the U.S. and in Europe and Asia. Its population is increasing in the U.S. The shape of a bird's wing is often an indication of its habits and behavior. Fast-flying birds have long, pointed wings. Soaring birds have long, broad wings. Different songbirds will have a slightly different wing shape. Some species look so much alike, Impidanax flycatchers, that scientists sometimes use the length of specific feathers to confirm a species identification. Juvenile little blue herons are also white but are smaller and do not have yellow bills. Snowy egrets are smaller and have yellow feet and black bills. Bills are platform of sticks, usually 10 to 40 feet up in a tree over either land or water. Usually nests in large, mixed species colonies with other herons. Young hatch at about 23 to 26 days and fledge at about 5 weeks, though continuing to associate with parents for some time after leaving the nest. Herons and egrets have comb-like serrations on the edges of their middle claws, which help to preen feathers inaccessible by their bills. Great egrets are approximately 84 to 102 centimeters tall and have a wingspan up to 150 centimeters, 59 inches weight. Great egrets weigh about 900 to 1,360 grams. The diets of egrets vary from species to species, but most prefer fishes, small snakes, amphibians, and invertebrates. Snowy egrets, Egretta tula, have specialized feet that may aid them in collecting food. In addition to stirring up the bottom of lakes and ponds, the bright yellow color of the feet may attract small fishes closer to them. Egrets capture prey with their beaks. Cattle egrets follow cattle to pick off insects disturbed by their movements. Snowy egrets may imitate cattle egrets.